Phew. Oh, hi. Sorry, just 1 second. Hello, my name is Nathan, and I'll be your captain for this video. All about the dangers of space junk. Space junk is stuff we sent into space, and then we left it in space. Space junk can be rockets, thrusters, satellites that are offline, even paint that came off of rockets can be space junk. And there are still so many different types of junk up there. Space junk's numbers have been growing as we send more things to space. Since the 1950s, we have been sending up all our rockets, satellites, and space stations, causing more than 34,000 pieces of junk to just float around. A scientist named Donald Kessler had proposed a theory in the 1970s that if there's too much space junk in the orbit of Earth, eventually we won't be able to leave Earth because whenever we would send a rocket or a satellite, it would collide, causing more junk to be made from the debris, just making the problem worse. Luckily, enough right now, we don't have to worry too much. But things like satellites and the International Space Station have maneuvers to dodge space junk in case some do come into their path. Recently, space junk has been found crashing down into areas on Earth. And no, I'm not talking about in the ocean. See, in March 2022, a couple in Sao Mato do Sul, Brazil, had found a heavy piece of metal wedged into the ground 50 meters away from their home. This chunk of metal was part of a SpaceX rocket. Other pieces of debris had fallen into other areas too. Australia and Sask had also reported that SpaceX junk had landed near populated areas. Even in northern Canada this year, in fact, also space junk from a Russian rocket landed. If debris of a large size or any debris landed somewhere like Toronto or New York, and I don't just mean like on the outskirts, I mean dead center, there could be injuries or even loss of life. The United Nations have made laws making companies remove their satellites within 25 years of their mission. This law is rather hard to enforce, though, because satellites will inevitably fail, making them unable to activate their re entry of Earth's orbit. To try and follow the UN's laws, companies have found other ways to collect their satellites. One way that many companies have gone to is a harpoon. This harpoon has a net with magnets and the end. The harpoon is shot up into space to grab the satellite, where the net wraps around it just enough where the magnets will, magnetize together and grab it. It is then pulled down to Earth to be collected. The second way satellites are retrieved is heating them up with a laser all the way from Earth to increase the satellite's atmospheric drag, forcing them to fall down to Earth. So, what can be done? One thing we could do is launch up a cleanup mission every few years, or task the astronauts on the ISS to do a cleanup mission. E- If the junk is collected, it can be sent back down to Earth when the astronauts rotate in and out. But what do you think should be done? Alright, have a great day and keep thinking.